This is why I've been talking about that God will have to do a reset. These people never learn. And I'm not talking about Trump. If you don't know who Trump is by now and you still want to be stupid and push your nonsense like the Democrats and the media, then this is what continues to take the world further into destruction, is their bullshit. It is. This, look, he threw him out of Mar-a-Lago, okay? It was a long time ago. They're never going to let they want us. You have to ask yourself, the biggest question people should be asked is why? Why? It's been 10 years now. Why do they continually go after him and want to make him out to be so bad? Well, because he represents something significant, and if you can't figure that out, well, that's the reason why there'll have to be a world reset. See, I've spent so many years thinking about these things, like what the Bible talks about, and what the world says that the Bible means, and the world has it all wrong, of course. But the world has just made a place to fit the Bible in, which wasn't. It was. So, what am I getting at? I seek God out about these dilemmas. I don't think a lot of people do. Like I said, the dilemmas of, give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God. Of course, that did not mean to divide your loyalties. God wants your full attention. I think because there's, obviously, God never says the whole world gets saved, okay? It's just, there's not. But he, talks many times about how he won't leave a sheep behind that he knows is one of his. So he'll go to any lengths he has to, which is why, people that have been saved often suffer under this system, because there's a ton of people that think that they're saved, and I don't believe they're really saved. I don't. I think God makes it very easy, but I know God from going to AA, and when I had that spiritual moment, I was in an AA meeting, and I'm like, oh God is real. What did he do to me? What? I didn't do this. I didn't. There was nothing I did, nothing except show up. I would never even try to take any credit for that. That was all God. This totally different person, and I don't know where I was. It's like I was in the clouds somewhere. I was just showing up, but I was doing nothing. And then all of a sudden I realized it. I'm like, there really is a God, because I didn't do this. I had nothing to do with this. So when you have that, you're like, oh, I want to know God. I really want to know him. And the only place to ever talk about that, because you love talking about God, but is with people in AA, because the rest of the world just looks at you like, do you need help? Because that's what the world has trained everybody to do. They think that's crazy. The people that can't wrap themselves around believing that Jesus was crucified and resurrected are people that lean on their own understanding. That's the very thing Jesus said not to do. Because it's beyond what you can understand, which means that, it's a blind faith. But to me, it's not even a blind faith, because you can see God everywhere. Did you create the trees? No. Did you create the soil? Did you create the earth? No, nobody on this planet did. And the Big Bang was the most stupidest thing ever to come up with. Talk about really, just reaching for straws there. So I had asked AI, because I think what's going to happen, these people won't stop. They don't learn. And God knows that. They won't learn. So the only way you're going to get, because what God cares about is the people he still needs to have saved. So what I've been trying to say in my last two videos is, really, people may think, oh, I just believe in this whole money transfer thing. No, I think because of tech, I absolutely think God has to intervene. Look, tech has messed with me and jobs so much. I had gotten a job at a gas station by my house, okay? A gas station. Been offered it because I know the people in there all the time. Then corporate came. And then all of a sudden we can't hire you. It's a clerk in a gas station. So that's the kind of level they'll go to. Okay, like the woman that runs the store had already she said I could have it. And I don't mind working hard, but when you have tech interfering at that level, and they are, because we're under the digital system. To try to explain that to people that you're being targeted, they don't understand. But it is. That's why at my last nursing travel assignment job, they delayed me starting so long, my Jeep was repossessed. I knew what they were doing. They lost 3 of my drug screens. I mean, why do we even have tech when they're that stupid? But it's targeting. Because they knew it. They know every time. Again, the Patriot Act allowed them to spy on everybody. So they know when I'm talking to, I had it all set up with the car company. Because I had job, nursing and travel assignments prior to that were all set up. And then all of a sudden they pulled them out from under my feet. It was so upsetting. I'm like, this, that's the digital cage. So God, I prayed so much I'm like, what do you want me to do, God? What do you want me to do? I'm more than willing to work my ass off, okay? Seriously, and I don't have a savings. But that kind of system is one where they can just ruin you and you've done nothing wrong. And that's what they've been doing. There's other things I don't want to get into it. So, but with a system that is at that point, the only thing God can do is turn it over, is flip it to become what would be, in my opinion, could be based on wealth is only given for those that spiritually mature. That would seem crazy. It did to me too, but it came to me today. I'm like, that would then it wouldn't force, because you would still have free will to choose to, but you wouldn't, put it this way, your will wouldn't bring you the wealth in. It wouldn't. It'd force everybody to totally rely on God. And not that God would just leave you poor, but in order to excel, it would be based on your heart not being hard, and that would require God to be within, because it's only the Spirit of God that starts to soften the heart. It removes the heart of stone with the heart of flesh. That's why it's hard in this world, because this world can't even see itself. Most people, because most people think they're good. Like, we know the people that are bad, but most people think they're good. They think because they go to church they're saved, or that they believe in Jesus, even though they hardly ever give him a thought except when they need something. So see, all of that, the world has been so led astray by the churches. The churches have led themselves astray. Then you have this innovation, because man just never stops trying to create worse and worse systems for everyone. And this digital system is a system that it can target God's children. So God has to intervene. Will it be right away? I don't know, but it will, because he doesn't want to end up losing more that he's saved. Like, that's when it comes down to that point, God usually has to do something. Really, he does, because while he has the group over here that he knows are truly saved, okay? He has those lost sheep out there that he's still trying to get back, herd back, okay? And he's not going to leave them behind. But at the same time, under this sick system that won't even let somebody have a job at a gas station, okay? And there was even another gas station I applied for too next door, never called me. That's ridiculous. That's absolute but that's, I have a list of things I could say off, and I'm not going to, that how text targeted me. So God, you risk losing other sheep, which I don't think that would happen, because once you truly know God, you stick with him. You want to follow him, no matter how bad it gets. You do, because you know that you totally see, and the scales are removed, and you can see what a joke this world is, how it's all deceiving people. Spiritual wealth transfer.